Greetings from the Church of Gear Chronicle. So welcome to yet another Set 10 standard format deck profile, but this time we aren't looking at another mass deck. I mean, we still do have another one coming in the future along with one or two other decks, and the Gear Chronicle update to finish things off, so make sure you subscribe if you like this kind of content. But today we are looking at not Hexorb Aquamarine. I mean, there's another Keter deck that just came out too. If you guys noticed from a couple videos back, we have two Shadow Wizard Scry decks now. This one's just a Pope with a name that's so deceptively easy to pronounce that one of them has Rayon in it, and now I get to use this as a thumbnail every single time I do a video on him. So yeah, deck profile time. Coincidentally, some news support just got announced for the new set in Japan, so stick around till the end to hear about it. Till then, on the screen too. As soon as I show that you can support the channel by ordering some Raise Energy. Hey look, this is new. They're doing some tea stuff now. Here's a new tea. Tastes like tea, but it's energy drink. Using code Skyward for a discount. Or of course, pick up some cards on my TCG Player store. Just look up Skyridge Game or click the link down in the description below. I got the raised ones up there live too. Starting things off with the ride line as always. Starter doesn't really matter, but this one's Coney, so I'm always going to use Wingle Brave in every deck if it matters. His grade 1 basically has two skills. First of all, when he's rode over by the grade 2, you could declare if your top card is either a normal unit or a trigger unit, and then you reveal that top card. And if it is the right one, you put it in your hand. If not, you could just put that card on top of your deck or in the soul. You will always call normal with this. There is no reason not to call normal unit. If you get right, that's a free card in your hand, and if you get wrong, you're just peeking at the fact that, oh hey, you've got a trigger coming up. Guess you should probably get your board ready for a trigger. And then his second skill, he shares with another card in this deck. And that's when placed, if your Vanguard is the boy, you can choose one normal unit from your hand, reveal it, and if you reveal the card, draw a card, then put the revealed card on top of the deck. So basically you're like, oh hey, I'm going to show you this card, I'm going to draw a card, and then this is going to go on top of the deck. So now you know what your top card is. And that'll be really good because if you remember, one of Solrairon's abilities does declare your top card, and if you get it right, you're going to get an extra bonus off it. Second skill is really good because with this guy, when you ride your Solrairon, you're able to call himself and the grade 1 out of soul. So you're going to be able to actually place these cards' second abilities just because you ride the Solrairon over them. For his second ability, when a normal unit is revealed by the ability of your Solrairon, it's going to gain red text at the end of battle attacks, retire it, and countercharge. I'm in a love-hate relationship with this effect. On the surface, having countercharger is fantastic. Like I keep on saying, Solrairon is a very, very resource-heavy deck. However, because of the weird attack patterns, you're not really going to counterblast until you activate Solrairon unless you have anything main phase you want to do. So you have to save him for the last attack, which is okay, I guess. But because of your ability to have multi-attack spoilers, you're not always going to have him on field. So it's good, but you're not always going to hit it. That's why I have the one copy deck. Of course, reminder on the Pope himself. He has two skills. First of all, like I hinted out for these other two, when you begin the battle phase, Soul Blast 1, and you declare if your top card is either a normal unit or a trigger unit. If you guess right, your front row gets +5 until the end of turn. Really offensive right here. This basically gives you a mini Persona ride every single turn, even if you're not on a Persona ride. And +5 does apply to every single card, not just your front row. So if you do have a booster, that's +10 to your column right there. Not bad. You do have to guess it, but like you have 20 ways to guess your top card. So as long as you're able to generate soul, you should be hitting this every turn. Then, like I just hinted at for multi-attack, when he attacks, you get to counterblast 1. Check your top 2 cards, choose a card from among them, and you call it or discard it, then put the rest on top or bottom of the deck. So basically, when he attacks, scry 2, call one of those cards, and then you stack the other 2 however you want. This basically creates your multi-attack, so you're guaranteed to have at least 4, and you maybe get more if you get lucky with a certain card. But it's basically a 4-attack deck that gives you decent numbers. Of course, to help make those numbers decent, we have 3 Persona Rides in here. I'm choosing not to run Chalice, simply because you do want to run unit cards only thanks to his abilities. And then to keep those abilities rolling, we run 2 more copies of the Ride Line Grade 1. It was originally 4, but I did have to make room for some other cards. So we're subsidizing it with the fact that we run 3 more of his twin brother, Dependable Pierce Dragon, who has 2 skills. First skill is literally the same one as the grade 1. The fact that it was placed if your Vanguard Solrairon, you choose a normal card, put it on top of the deck, and draw a card. So Exact same skill there. Second skill is a little different, and that is kind of similar in the grade 2 in that when normally it's revealed by ability of Solrairon, it gets red text. But his red text says that when it attacks, it's +5, so he's at 18k right there. And then after he attacks, he goes to Soul. So this basically makes him a 23k combined with Solrairon's ability, and gives you a way to build your Soul back up to activate Solrairon again. He is also a grade 3, which is kind of important for your overtrigger because it gives you boys drive checks, and more drive checks is always good. And yeah, him just going to Soul is a really good thing because it helps you build up resources. Speaking of resources, this is like the best card in Keter Sanctuary. I swear to God, I will always tech Forsato in every single card ever. Run Forsato, coming out again in his recollection, pick him up. 2 skills. First one, this card cannot be chosen by your opponent's card effects. LOL Gandiva. Blast at any control deck ever. This is basically resist. Like, there's ways to get around it, of course. Because it says specifically he cannot be chosen. If you have something that targets like a circle or targets the whole board or whatever, he can still go away. But if you only get single target control, this is really, really good. And what's also good is the second effect. When he hits, countercharge and soul charge. This is resource management for deck. This is on hit pressure. Both those things are really, really good. So you combine them with a card with resist and trend drive for your trigger, and you basically have one of the best cards in Keter. Of course, this deck is all about scrying and making extra attacks, so let's look at things that help you scry. Like this dragon. I run 3 of them. Trinket Breath basically says when he's placed, you can check your top card, put on top or bottom, and if you bottom deck, you check your top card again. So it's scry 1. If you don't like the card you scried, put it bottom, and then you scry again, but you can't do anything with it. Not bad. If you want some more scry power, you could also run his best friend from set 1, who basically does the same thing, just check top card, look at it, and if you don't want it, he gets +2. So between these two, you do have a really good scry engine. I just only had room for 3 copies of him, but if you want to do more scries, help yourself to Pentagleam. Hex Orb is best deck after all. But essentially, you can do 2 things with him. You can either call him main phase and just help set up for your boy, or if you call him during battle phase, you can just try to look for triggers. Couple ways to run him. Really good card. He's a cool looking dragon. Then for cards that you want to call during battle phase, you got this boy. You could call him during main phase too, but like you want to call him during battle phase because he has a really stupid effect that says when he's placed, Counterblast 1, Soul Blast 1. Again, you're using a lot of resources. This is a very resource heavy deck. But check your top 3, choose a card among them, reveal it, call it to Rearguard if it's grade 2 or less, or put it in your hand if not. Check your deck afterwards. So basically, what you want to do with him is try to stack into this. We can do this with the dragon, the grade 1, or the other dragon. And then when you call him off Solrairon's effect, you're able to call another card out of your deck. So basically, I'm just grabbing random cards out of here. You go meow. All right, here's a field. Here's a field. Here's a cool combo with what we just did. So you peeked or whatever, you're like, cool, whatever. You go swing 23 between skills. Yum Yum goes to Soul. Swing, activate skill. Find soft top deck, call, activate skill, bye-bye. Then we call another card. So like, let's say you hit him like, oh, by the way, you get to scry 2. So you basically get a 5 attack turn off of this card alone. Really, really good. I wish it didn't cost a soul and a counterblast, but there's a reason that he's so freaking expensive. Have fun finding him. Alternatively, if you want a cheaper card that you can run that does basically the same thing, there is this cool kitty cat that came out in like one of the first festival collections. It says when placed, Soul Blast 1, call a grade 1 from your hand to Rearguard, and he's gonna get +5 until end of turn. This is effectively a counterblast-less version of him. However, this does have a couple caveats in the fact that you have to call a grade 1, which limits the cards that you can run in the deck, and you have to call it from hand, which means you have to have it ready. So you could try to tech it if you want. I'm still working on trying to figure out a build for running both these and just do 5 attack the deck. But I feel like it's going to be running a lot of grade 1s and trying to find ways to put grade 1s in your hand just because we'll got guy on. So though, calls a grade 1 and makes it basically a +10 between his skill and Solrairon's skill. That's not bad. Of course, you do have a couple ways to yeet cards away from the board. So let's talk about the good one and the bad one. The good one is Kadwala, who basically says after he attacks, you have a board with 4 or more cards. This includes Vanguard, so just 2 in him, whatever. You're able to Soul Blast, retire this, check your top 3 cards, add a grade 2 or greater to your hand, and if you didn't add, you draw a card. So he's lets you search for lobby pieces. If you didn't notice, we're running a lot of grade 2 or greater cards in this build. And if you don't do that, you're able to draw cards. So clears away from the board and lets you plus in some way or shape or form. Really good. Another card that does cost Soul Blast, unfortunately, like the one I'm going to talk about now. But yeah. Then this is my tech. I don't think anyone's looked at this card in literally forever. Magical Realization, Kikich, says that when it's placed, choose a critical or front trigger from your hand, reveal it, put it on the bottom of your deck, and if you put a card, Soul Blast 1 and draw a card. This is your reset button. One of the big issues that you have with this deck is that you constantly draw into triggers between the Ride Grade 1 and the Dragon, and the fact that you're in general scrying non-trigger units, so you will have a lot of triggers flooding your hand. This is going to set them back. Lets you draw a card if you have Soul. If not, you don't care about it, you're just putting a card back in deck. But unfortunately, it does go to bottom. This is why I'm running a lot of shuffle cards like these 2 Knights. So you can effectively call her and then say, oh no, I've got triggers that on my deck, lol shuffle, and then they all get back in the mix. So yeah, this is my secret tech. Mainly needed because I also need another grade 1, but it does help you refresh your board. Then finally, the boring part real quick. You all know it's coming. Here's a perfect guard. We just run the normal perfect guards in this build. Like I said, you only want normal units in this deck. So Ryan was not going to get anything off finding order. So just normal PGs is fine. I mean, Chrono Jet's not the deck it used to be, unfortunately. So until we get all those jump ride promos, the grade 4 meta is not as important as you think it is. So good card, but I mean, not necessary. Triggers, I'm just going to do that. You run crits, you run over trigger, and you run fronts because of the 1 card. End of story. Only thing I'm going to say is make sure you do have the special crit because your soul does matter a lot in this build. Alright, Future Jared here. While I was editing this video, I actually thought of another thing that I wanted to mention. So, you guys are getting 2 builds for the price of 1. That price is free unless you do want to help support me at any of the links above to raise energy and TCG player. Anyways, this is roughly going to be the same idea, but you will notice a couple different things, such as Drilling Angel. I don't know why, in the entire course of making that video and editing that video, I never remember Drilling Angel exists. This card is fantastic in here, because when it's placed, you can choose a card from your dropstone, shove it in Soul, then check top 3, choose up to 1 card with the same name, and call it the rear guard, then shuffle your deck. So what this basically going to do is, first of all, refills your Soul. Once again, helps build up your other effects, but he does a check top 3 call, just like the K-Breed. So this is going to be another option for your 5 attack, multi-attack thing. Not necessarily as consistent because it is check top 3 for a copy of the thing you shoved in Soul, but if you get there, you get there. It is essentially free and it does refill your Soul, so that is a really, really good effect. Because that we're trying to max out a lot of these, run 3 to 4 copies of everything just to see more things. You'll see once here, we got the kitty dog once again that I mentioned, who when plays Soul Blast 1, call it grade 1 from your hand, is get +5. So because that we're running a lot of grade 1s this build, which is this 13k attacker, and this special void axe. I don't know, many people don't. When it's placed, you choose a card from your hand, shove it in Soul, then choose your Vanguard, and that unit and this unit both get +5. This is a great thing to call off of the 2 cards we just mentioned, the Drilling Angel, the Kitty Cat Lion Man, and of course Solrairon himself. And I'll make him number 1 going to be a 13 on his own. I'll boost up your Vanguard another stage. Don't forget, Solrairon is going to be boosting your cards by +5, so anytime you see a +5, you just think in your head, this card's getting +10. So 18k on his own. I guess another +5 off the Kitty Cat if you call it out. And everything else about this is relatively the same. I didn't bother changing special triggers. Just, I am opting out the fronts for draws in this build because you do want those pieces in your hand, particularly for the Young Ion. But it's just another league on the build, and basically trying to focus more on 5 attacks with these 2 dudes instead of the Kyrie, which will make it a lot more affordable build because then you have to spend, I don't even know what those things are these days. Anyways, back to the past. So, that's what Solrairon does now. But of course, we're strong supporters of Gear Chronicle and time travel here. So let's take a look into the future and see if these recent upgrades will lead us to the future that we truly desire. Daiquiri feels pretty mid, honestly. Like, don't get me wrong, drawing a +5 for a Counter Blast is always nice, but the deck already has 2 other cards that do the exact same thing, if not better. The fact that this one needs Solrairon in the name as a paywall. Maybe in a world where we could fit in more counter charge, this could be an option for a strat to just kind of draw cards and get a little bit of extra power, but Soul is already very resource heavy deck, and it's enough to just slot in Fasado while still having to make room for everything else. At least this none has a funny drink based name. Alright, going from mid to amazing. Let's end this video off with a bang. Of course, if you guys enjoy this, you know what to do. Wisdom, Claw, I need a dragon. Where's the dragon? Bark, bark, Reshiram. This card is insane. Outside of his name and armor, doubling up on the fact that Wizard Pope is a scrying gold powder deck in disguise, he has an insane effect that really bundles up what the deck does. No, not the +5. I mean, that's always nice, but that just gets the guys on Nexus and Night Drake. So, when this bad boy is placed and Mr. Rayon is your Vanguard, you can peek at the top card of your deck and put it on top or bottom. Standard Sky right there. But it keeps going because then you can Counterblast 1 to reveal your top card, and you can either call it to the open circle or shove it right in the soul. In other words, you peek top card, then bottom deck it if you don't want it, and then with that next card you can either call it if you want to, or shove it back into the soul, proc some of your many other abilities. This is what Solrairon needed to be playable. Honestly, the only bad part about it is that you have to call it to an open circle, so that your 5 attack turns are a bit harder to hit. If you really want to strat though, Keter has plenty of ways of making cards disappear, including a couple of ones that we mentioned previously in this video. You're staying on me. This is a Pokemon video now. Dude, why did I just do that? Technically that works as an eye patch. I'm a pirate now. So, in other words, a slightly different build of Solrairon is going to be coming sometime in the future, but I kind of want to wait to see if any other support drops, and Evenfall Onslaught. Until then, I still need to talk about plenty of stuff in our current English set, so always embrace the infinite. Next one's probably going to be another mask video. I told you we're doing another mask video. So, post-credits. I have a quick announcement. I don't know why I haven't done it in a short yet. But, speaking of cool Keter cards, I'm going to be doing a Gramgrace video for my next big project. And I'd love for your help with this. So, if you guys have any deck profiles, any thoughts on the card in general, make sure to comment them down below. DM me if you're interested in posting a video clip of it or something. And we'll just make this huge. You guys saw that I did it with Creed on a little while back, and that ended up being a pretty cool video. So, I'd like to do more channel interaction like this in the future. If you guys want to be featured in the Gramgrace video, come at you, boy. Hit me in the DMs, post the comments down below. Let's make it huge. Later.